So this video is intended to just show you a few options of what the students might make for a major capstone project in computer science 30. All of these were created using the processing environment. So keep that in mind. A lot of what the students made is demonstrating that they understand how to create their own classes and then use them. So I was teaching them object-oriented programming in order to make that happen. So this first example is a game called Unblock Me. And so you have a how to play screen, explains what's going on, and then to get into the actual game, you can select a difficulty level. You click on any one of the blocks, and then you should be able to move it around using the arrow keys. And the idea is you're trying to get this red block off the screen. So you have to move these things around until eventually you can get that red block off the screen. So there is one game, and there's a fair bit going on in that one. Another one was made as a pair, so two people worked on this one together. They created a game or a version of Tetris. It's going to look a little wonky on this screen. I should be playing it on a different size of screen because it doesn't quite fit the way that I'm recording this right now. But it's got your classic interaction here in Tetris, and everything works the way you expect it to. So there we are. And another one, this one is a Space Invaders clone. So if you start this one up, you can see that you are the invader here, or the defender at the bottom. So something like that. This one was a Scorched Earth sort of style game. So you have all these tanks, and you're trying to fire at the other tank, and it will adjust the terrain and all the rest. So there's actually a whole lot going on in terms of how he's keeping track of the height of the ground and all the various locations and all the rest of it. So again, extensive use of classes there and array lists. This one was kind of a jumping game, a geometry dash sort of style game where you and you die quickly. If you don't die, I'm going to stop playing that. It carries on for quite some time. Another one, this one was made by a group of 3 students. It is the most intense of the ones that are here. So if you create the game, it's loading a whole bunch of assets from the data folder. They've kind of made a mixture of a game called Terraria and a game called Minecraft, so there's crafting involved, so you can mine various resources and stuff and make it all happen. So they spent a few months of their own time building this game in order to get everything working. So again, built entirely in processing, and there's various biomes and stuff in order to make all this happen. I will just show you that you can mine individual tiles like this, and then it will react. You've got your list of tiles and everything up there. You can access that. I'm not going to keep going with that one. Another one, not a game, but rather just a application that one student came up with. He was part of the SRC and wanted to make a program to make their life easier in the SRC. So let me see if I can remember how to access this. So create a password system to get into it. There we go. And so he's created all of the objects to make all these. There are no button objects in processing by default. So when you order something and you type in your name, well, and of course I'm going to get an error right off the bat. And you put in your name and select what it is that you're trying to buy. It tells you the cost. You can decide all the different options. on that, how many. You can write in whatever notes you need and put in your email and then place the order. And it says there's no inventory, and that's because as part of this, he's keeping track of the school inventory in some text files that he's created. And so if you go back to the main menu, you can go to the inventory and say we actually have, so previously we set it up so that there was a certain number of white shirts or whatever, so you could go in and adjust the amount of clothing, save it, and now your inventory will have that in future, and when someone buys one, the inventory decreases by 1, and you can see your price menu. So he's put a lot of work into this, to the point even where you can adjust your window size and the app will scale appropriately, so everything's a percentage. So that one, not a game, but an interesting application. This one is a classic asteroids clone. So you fire at the asteroid, and it's, yeah, I'm sure you've played a game like this in the past, and you get hit and you die, and you can see there's three little ships at the top showing you how many lives you have. You get something like that at the end. This one is a Jetpack Joyride clone. So you begin the game, and now you're trying to just stay alive for as long as you can. And as you approach things, there's various objects you want to collect, like these coins, other objects that you're trying to avoid, like this laser I'm going to die on right away. I don't know. Just, yeah, there we go. So, and you just carry on for as long as you can. And then another one, this student made a bunch of the art for this outside of processing, just using Photoshop, and then began the game. So in this one, you're trying to kill all these plants that are coming at you. So you fire at them, and they're just following. So if you let them get to you, your health goes down and you end up dying. So something like that. So there's just a few examples of what students have made in the past.